Frequent fluorescent lighting failures in an office building can stem from several factors, requiring a systematic approach to identify and rectify the root cause. Firstly, overvoltage or undervoltage conditions can significantly impact ballast and lamp lifespan. Voltage fluctuations stress the components, leading to premature failures. Use of volt-ohm milliammeter, abbreviated as volt-ohms milliamps meter, to measure the incoming voltage at the fixture. Compare the measured voltage with the ballast rated voltage, which is usually 120 volts or 277 volts in office buildings. If the voltage is consistently outside the acceptable range, investigate the building's electrical system for issues such as voltage drops, overloaded circuits, or problems with the utility supply. Secondly, loose or corroded wiring can cause intermittent connections, leading to flickering or complete failure of the lamps and ballasts. Thoroughly inspect all wiring connections at the ballast, lamp sockets, and power source. Look for signs of corrosion, loose wires, or damaged insulation. Tighten any loose connections and replace corroded or damaged wiring. Use appropriate wire connectors and ensure proper grounding to prevent future issues. Thirdly, overheating can be a major cause of ballast and lamp failure. Fluorescent fixtures generate heat, and if they are not properly ventilated, the heat can build up, shortening the lifespan of the component. Check the temperature of the ballast and fixture housing. If the fixture feels excessively hot, ensure that it has adequate ventilation. Remove any obstructions that might be blocking airflow around the fixture. Consider replacing the fixture with a more energy-efficient model that generates less heat. Fourthly, lamp compatibility is crucial for proper operation and longevity. Ensure that the lamps installed are compatible with the ballasts. Using the wrong type or brand of lamp can cause various problems, including flickering, reduced light output, or premature failure. Refer to the ballast specifications to determine the correct lamp type. Replace any incompatible lamps with the appropriate ones. Fifthly, electromagnetic interference or radio frequency interference, abbreviated as EMI or RFI, from nearby equipment can disrupt fluorescent lighting. EMI or RFI can cause flickering, dimming, or complete failure of the lamps. Check for potential sources of interference such as motors, transformers, or electronic devices. If interference is suspected, try moving the offending equipment away from the fluorescent fixtures or shielding the fixtures from the interference. Sixthly, rectifier failure within the ballast can prevent the fixture from lighting up or cause it to flicker. The rectifier converts alternating current, abbreviated as AC, to direct current, abbreviated as DC, which is necessary for the ballast to function properly. Use a volt-ohms milliamps meter to test the rectifier. If the rectifier is faulty, replace the ballast. Seventhly, an open capacitor in the ballast can lead to malfunction. Capacitors store energy and regulate voltage. A failed capacitor can prevent the ballast from starting or cause it to operate erratically. Use a volt-ohms milliamps meter to test the capacitor. If the capacitor is open or shorted, replace the ballast. Eighthly, flickering or dimming lamps can indicate a failing ballast or lamp. This issue can arise from various causes, but it often signals that one or both components are nearing the end of their lifespan. To diagnose the problem, start by replacing the lamps with new ones. If the issue persists, it is likely that the ballast is failing and needs to be replaced. Ninthly, constant flickering can indicate an electronic ballast that is not suitable for the lamps or the wiring. Electronic ballasts are sensitive to voltage fluctuations and wiring problems. If you suspect that the electronic ballast is causing the flickering, try replacing it with a magnetic ballast or a compatible electronic ballast. Refer to the ballast specifications to ensure compatibility. Tenthly, the age of the fluorescent fixtures can play a role in their failure. Fluorescent fixtures have a limited lifespan, and over time, the components can degrade, leading to failure. If the fixtures are old, it may be more cost-effective to replace them with newer models that are more energy efficient and reliable. When troubleshooting, follow these steps. Firstly, check the incoming voltage and correct any fluctuations. Use a volt-ohms milliamps meter to measure the voltage at the fixture and compare it to the ballast rated voltage. If the voltage is outside the acceptable range, investigate the building's electrical system for problems. Secondly, inspect and tighten all electrical connections. Look for loose wires, corrosion, or damaged insulation. Tighten any loose connections and replace any damaged wiring. Thirdly, ensure proper ventilation of fixtures. Remove any obstructions that might be blocking airflow around the fixture. Consider replacing the fixture with a more energy-efficient model that generates less heat. Fourthly, verify lamp compatibility with ballasts. Ensure that the lamps installed are compatible with the ballasts. Refer to the ballast specifications to determine the correct lamp type. Fifthly, check for EMI or RFI interference and mitigate if necessary. Look for potential sources of interference such as motors, transformers, or electronic devices. If interference is suspected, try moving the offending equipment away from the fluorescent fixtures or shielding the fixtures from the interference. Sixthly, test the rectifier and capacitors in the ballast using a volt or milliamps meter. If either component is faulty, replace the ballast. Seventhly, replace flickering or dimming lamps. If the issue persists after replacing the lamps, the ballast is likely the problem. Eighthly, if electronic ballasts are suspected, replace them with magnetic or compatible ballasts. Refer to the ballast specifications to ensure compatibility. Ninthly, if all else fails, consider replacing the fixtures with newer models. Older fixtures may be less energy efficient and more prone to failure. By following these troubleshooting steps, one can effectively diagnose and repair fluorescent lighting failures in an office building. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical equipment. Disconnect the power before working on any fixtures and follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Further points to consider include checking for any unusual noises coming from the ballast, such as humming or buzzing. These noises can indicate a failing ballast. Also, examine the lamp sockets for any signs of damage or wear. Damaged lamp sockets can prevent the lamps from making proper contact, leading to flickering or failure. When replacing ballast, be sure to use the correct type and voltage. Using the wrong ballast can damage the fixture or create a safety hazard. It is also important to properly dispose of old ballasts. Some ballasts contain hazardous materials such as polychlorinated biphenyls, abbreviated as PCB, which require special handling. Contact a local recycling center or hazardous waste disposal facility for information on how to properly dispose of old ballasts. In addition to these troubleshooting steps, it may be helpful to keep a log of lighting failures. This log can help identify patterns and trends that can point to the root cause of the problem. For example, if failures are occurring more frequently in a particular area of the building, it may indicate a problem with the electrical supply to that area. Furthermore, consider the impact of lighting on employee productivity and well-being. Poor lighting can lead to eye strain, headaches, and reduced concentration. By maintaining a well-lit and comfortable work environment, businesses can improve employee morale and productivity. Finally, remember that electrical work can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable working with electrical equipment, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. An electrician has the training and experience to safely diagnose and repair lighting problems. Regular maintenance of fluorescent lighting systems can prevent many of the problems discussed. This includes periodic inspections of fixtures, wiring, and ballasts, as well as prompt replacement of any faulty components. By taking a proactive approach to lighting maintenance, businesses can avoid costly repairs and ensure a safe and productive work environment. When selecting replacement lamps, consider using energy-efficient options such as LED lamps. LED lamps consume significantly less energy than fluorescent lamps and have a longer lifespan. While the initial cost of LED lamps may be higher, they can save money in the long run due to reduced energy consumption and replacement costs. Furthermore, LED lamps do not contain mercury, a hazardous material found in fluorescent lamps. This makes LED lamps a more environmentally friendly option. In addition to replacing lamps with LED options, consider upgrading to LED fixtures altogether. LED fixtures are designed to maximize energy efficiency and provide better light quality. They also typically have a longer lifespan than fluorescent fixtures. Upgrading to LED fixtures can be a significant investment, but it can pay off in the long run through reduced energy costs and maintenance costs. When planning a lighting upgrade, it is important to consider the specific needs of the office space. Different areas of the office may require different levels of lighting. For example, task lighting may be needed in areas where employees are performing detailed work. It is also important to consider the color temperature of the light. Cool white light is generally preferred for office environments, as it can help improve alertness and productivity. However, warmer light may be more appropriate for areas where employees are relaxing or socializing. In conclusion, troubleshooting fluorescent lighting failures in an office building requires a systematic approach that considers various factors, including voltage fluctuations, wiring issues, overheating, lamp compatibility, EMI or RFI interference, ballast failures, and the age of the fixtures. By following the troubleshooting steps outlined and considering the additional points discussed, one can effectively diagnose and repair lighting problems and ensure a safe, comfortable, and productive work environment. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical equipment and to consult with a qualified electrician if needed.